Thank you, Honourable Speaker. My deep gratitude to my colleagues who have stood to show that British Columbians support equal treatment under the law for all people. I am certainly not going to specifically point to any one member, but I would say if you do not instinctively in your heart understand why it's so important for us to stand on this issue, perhaps you do not have a child whom this issue directly affects. And I would like to raise up my colleague from Burnaby East for the bright, burning flame that is her courage for bringing forward this motion. We have certainly seen in the last days that there are risks to speaking out on issues where we disagree and disagree passionately, and that there are people who are willing to use violence and intimidation to silence people who want to speak. And that's unacceptable. I know many of the members of this House would stand just as firmly against that as they have stood for people in British Columbia today. If I was there, I would hug you, but I'm not. And to us LGBTQIA plus British Columbians, I see you. We love you. You belong. And thank you also to all of the people of faith who have reached out to me over this last year, who have prayed so earnestly and communicated your views so full of heart and sincerity that you want peace and joy and success for all British Columbians, and you want equal treatment for them. My children and I often discuss the whys of the world. That is the incredible value of having 5 really dedicated little mini politicians in your kitchen. And I've been able to increase my understanding of Psychology 101 over this last year, because we always talk about the just world fallacy, the idea that it relates so much to the lack of compassion that we see for vulnerable people in our society. It's deep in us. It's in our genes, in the back of our heads, in the earliest part of us, to react so instinctively when we see people suffering. But there are issues that we cannot solve immediately. And for some people, there are problems that must be endured, and they cannot be quickly solved. And when that happens, humans naturally have a tendency to try and get ourselves out of that quandary, out of that tension between empathy and exhaustion, by flipping and blaming the person who is the sufferer. And the narrative in our hearts transforms. If you are suffering, you must deserve it. And you see this logic happen over and over when we are forced to confront the painful condition of infertility. I want to warn you, if you're someone who's experienced infertility, you may not want to listen to this next little bit because you've already heard it before. I guarantee it. Callous statements that children are a gift, often a gift from God. And if you can't conceive, well, that's all part of the plan, and you should just accept it. Receiving medical treatment, well, that goes against the plan too. And here in this House, we've had members who've welcomed a group who says that they're against many of the most powerful and effective treatments we have for infertility. They're against IVF. They want to disallow the use of donor gametes for assisted human reproduction. They refer to surrogacy as fracturing and reordering natural relationships, and that human procreation ought to take place within a committed heterosexual marriage. And those aren't just personal beliefs that they want to maintain. They're advocating to ban donor gametes by law. They want to prevent other British Columbians, other Canadians from having the right to practice medical health care and reproductive care as they see fit. This past summer, I was very privileged to be at the province's announcement that we were going to be funding IVF. And I want to emphasize that we want to make this province a better place for women and a more equitable place to live, not less. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.